Take it away.
This is Steve. How many of you are living his nightmare? You walk in your garage, you can't get around anywhere. I mean,
Mine's much worse than that.
he's given up on life, man. He's frustrated. He's a nice guy. He's got a wife. He's got kids. He's super happy most of the time. But when his wife asks him to go get something out of the garage, he just goes ballistic. He just starts going nuts. He gets angry because he's trying to find things. He's got to move them back and forth. He gets, oh, can't see that. But he's stressed because he's got to constantly stack and restack. He gets frustrated because he just went to Home Depot last week and bought a tool. His wife's got a project she's been waiting for a month, and he can't find the tool. So he's got to go back to Home Depot and buy another tool. And you see his foot? He's busted it 3 times on this training wheel from the bicycle that doesn't even move. That bike hasn't moved in 4 years. This is a real problem in this country. We have a lot of stuff, and we put value on our stuff that really puts more stress on us than it does the value of our stuff. I lived this nightmare. I ended up moving from a house out in Deltona. It had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. It had a 16 by 20 outbuilding and another 10 by 12 outbuilding. We moved to a condo, and I had to put my stuff in storage. And that guy, Steve, was me for about 2 years. And every day I came back from that storage unit, I took it out on my wife because it was just so frustrating to have to just try to get my motorcycles out and everything else. So eventually, I realized it wasn't her fault. I'm just dealing with Steve's problems. So when's the last time you guys smiled when you opened up your garage door? Because as soon as I solved my problem, every time I lifted that door, I had a smile on my face. This is mind blowing. 75% of us wish we could organize our garages better. 35% of us don't even know what we have in the garage. That's crazy. And almost a quarter of us can't even get a car in the garage. My name's Steve Schindehette. I created a rack above. It's a portable, freestanding overhead garage storage unit that lifts your mess and calms your stress.
Sweet.
I started this about 3 years ago, came up with an idea to solve this problem. When I was in my storage unit, you can't attach to the walls, you can't attach to the ceilings because you're going to get fined. So I ended up looking up one day, I'm like, oh man, I got to figure something out. So I went over to the Home Depot, I bought some 2x4s, I bought some construction hangers, and I created a rack above. A reinvented way of looking at overhead garage storage. It's all made of aluminum. So there's no drilling and there's no attachment. These pucks right here are little 3-inch plastic pucks. They simply tension between the ceiling and the floor, and they keep the rack from swaying back and forth so it can't move. This is all pinned with clips and pins, so it's completely modular, portable, whatever. And there's sliding telescoping rails inside each one of these, so that all the poles telescope and all the widths telescope. So it'll fit any garage, any size, anywhere. The 4-foot wide adjustable shelf gets moved down to the tallest person in the house. This affords them to be able to reach up and grab things without being on a ladder. Ladder falls are real. 90% of ladder falls are from people that are 58 years and older. So it's a real challenge, and we don't heal like we used to, so it's even worse. But what else is nice is you don't see any structure up here keeping these things in, like Tetris. Like if you wanted to move a bin, you had a ceiling rack, mounted rack, you got to move this bin, move that bin. Everything's freely accessible right there from both sides of the shelf. Like I said, it's made of aluminum, won't rust, and it holds 2,000 pounds. That's an engineered value. The rack itself holds 1,760, and these side supports, which I integrated with the pegboard, hold another 300. So when I built the rack, I had to put the side supports to keep it from swaying, and I started putting hooks and nails and different types of clips. So when I got to the point where I started building this thing, I actually integrated pegboard into both sides of this rack so you can hang your household items. The other thing that's super cool is because each leg is independently adjustable and they're so narrow, it's like a slinky of storage. I mean, it goes behind, it goes up and down anything. If you've got uneven ceilings at the top where they drop down, doesn't matter. Each leg's independent, so it can literally go around anything. It goes between door jambs, hot water tanks, electrical panels, because the cross supports can be adjusted up and down. It goes around electrical panels. So it comes in 2 different configurations. A 1-car configuration. These are 2 people up in the villages. These hold 1,000 pounds. No support necessary. But this guy couldn't even get his car in the garage, and this was an absolute disaster. So they put that in there, super happy. I can call any of these guys and say, hey, can I send Josh over to take a look at the rack? And they would open their garage door and let me come in because let Josh come in because they're so happy with the product. Now, this is unique. This is a 2-car garage unit. Notice this one has 2 racks in it. This customer bought 2 racks. They got so much stuff that they wanted to spend the money to buy 2 racks. My biggest question is always, go ahead.
I would say one.
Oh, yeah. My biggest issue is always, the biggest question is, does that come into play? As you can see, it does not come into play at all. It never has. I've got 40-some, I think I got 46 of them out there, and nobody's ever said a word. Biggest thing, this is the scenario you don't want to have. That's an excellent way to have and try to play Tetris to get those things out of there. You can't see down here, best one. But 2 tools versus 11 tools, easy install, absolutely. One person can put it together. It goes with you when you move, so it's a one-time purchase. Real quick, home organization is an $8 billion industry, and it grows 10% a year. That's actual data from today. I've had $100,000 in sales since the May of 2021, which is pretty good considering we've got a pandemic, supply chain shortages, aluminum's gone up 3-fold, steel's doubled. I'm seeking partners. I'm looking for logistics people that can help me with packaging, shipping, and materials. I've lost more sales because I can't ship this thing due to the sizes. I'm looking for strategic board members who can specialize in marketing, business acumen, and scaling. And also, if anybody knows a franchise expert, I think there's a great possibility once I get those things taken care of that I can actually franchise this across the country. I've got manufacturing secured in Spokane, Washington already. I'm soon to have manufacturing secured here in Orlando. So that's a big possibility. I need money. This stuff's not cheap. These racks are not inexpensive to build. They're high quality, and it's going to take a lot of money to be able to buy the aluminum in quantity so I can get the prices down. But I need that money for advertising and marketing because I've not gone into debt with this. I'm trying to bootstrap it, and it's a challenge. So I'm not able to spend a lot of money in advertising like I probably could. If you buy boxing, it's got to be massive amounts because they got to do a minimum run. And like I said, manufacturing. Now, for me, what I need from you guys, anybody who knows builders, personally knows a builder, garage door company, home organizers, cabinet and wall slat people, let me get in touch with them. Let me talk with them, see if they're interested in becoming a dealer, because it's going to really be a big difference being able to get word of mouth out there. Excuse me. But then, as far as big box, everybody says, "Oh, go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's." I'm going to start out small. I think Ace Hardware was a great place to be able to show this because they got that personal touch and they're not just going to take somebody in there and leave it. They're going to actually be able to walk them through and explain to. So that's what I'm looking for. That's my ask. I got a couple new products coming out. This is called a Bike Above. It's going to hold 4 bicycles and it's going to go on the same principle of the extendable legs from the rack. And then this, I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but the laundry room is another terrible, terrible place to be. You walk in people's laundry rooms, there's no organization there. So I'm going to take the same idea with the rack, make this adjustable so washers and dryers can be adjusted, and also put hangers and clothes hangers and things on that. So 2 new products. That's my presentation.
Thanks. So who's got questions?
Josh.
Who's your target market? And you can't say homeowners. That part's a given. Who's truly, where are you targeting first at least?
So I need help with that because it's a challenge. The idea would be, yeah, every garage homeowner would need me, but the reality of it is it's typically 48 to 62-year-old men who have money, who live in a gated community, who care about organizing their garage. Most of the clients I have, money doesn't seem to be the object, obviously. It's a $2,000 item, so they're not going to just come up and say, yeah. But usually affluent, live in a gated community, understand what this is,
Yeah.
see the value in.
I agree with that, by the way. I think older folks, because first of all, they've accumulated enough stuff.
Right.
They value organization. And the latter thing is real.
It's totally real.
It is very real. And I think that's the mark. That's the market that's probably going to appreciate what you have here.
Yeah, the Villages has proven to be good. I just got into Margaritaville as a preferred community vendor there. You know, that 58-year-old ladder thing is a real struggle.
What about hooking up with orthopedic surgeons, you know, because they're the ones that are treating these ladder injuries. Right?
That's true. Here's
It's
our
like,
card.
oh, I broke my hip, I fell off the ladder, getting something out of my car. Hey, let me recommend somebody.
Denny.
Well, I'm helping Steve, and I know that we'll get into a lot of builders about, because this is stuff that they need to be offered to their clients as an option. And there's a lot of people who are gonna buy this right away, sight and see, especially since they're just gonna make it part of their mortgage.
Yeah.
It's really
Go back
immaterial
to,
the cost of them.
Steve, go back to some pictures of the units. So people,
Here.
keep going. Yeah, that's fine.
That looks
Yeah.
perfect.
So, anybody, Josh?
What IP or patent protections do you have on this? Because this is a great idea, but it looks very duplicatable.
It's
Yeah.
not.
It's not.
I got
Okay,
two
so
patents. I got two
You got
patents.
two patents?
Two issued patents.
Issues.
So issued.
Nice.
That was done- I had the patents issued before I even started manufacturing.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got protection.
Okay, good. Then we'll find you some other protection to help you protect the protection.
What separates you from competition? Is it, I know that I'm familiar with the ones that just go with the latch onto the ceiling. This one, there's a height adjustment, is that what it is?
So no, I mean, there's a couple things. One, you see how much stuff's up here? If
Right.
that's attached to your roof, your ceiling, it's putting a tremendous load on those trusses. And your roof structure is made to support your roof, right? So you start pulling down a lot of weight on that roof's gonna start to buckle and your ceiling's gonna start to sag. So there's a structural part of this that's very important. But also, once you buy this elaborate maze of stuff, you're not taking it to your next house. You're gonna leave it there and you've bought it for the next person to use, right? This is a one-time purchase that you just pull the pins, you slide it together, you move it on to your next house. It's guaranteed to fit your next home. So it's gonna fit your next house no matter where you go. So it's a one-time purchase. And as you can see, you still need a ladder for most of this. I mean, that's a really dangerous situation, right? He's taking heavy totes. He's trying to pull these things out from behind this bar. He's handing it down to his wife. We don't know how strong his wife is. I mean, people get injured. So at least with my stuff, even if you can't reach it, you can hang a step stool on the side of that pegboard and walk over, get a little railing like from Costco or something, and you can step up a foot, foot and a half and reach what you need to reach without having to be 6 or 8 feet in the air. So,
I would put a picture of yours thing next to the.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
Well, I had to show pictures, so I figured I'll just leave the logo up there.
okay.
But yeah, that's a real, and that's a real scenario. John,
This is an amazing concept. Number one stress creator is clutter. I did hear you using that word. Suddenly everybody understands that. Clutter. Build up.
Yeah, clutters, yeah. Definitely something.
I'm dealing with I've been dealing with storage units my whole life all over, and they're reminded me again that you get into a storage unit, within a certain amount of months, they will increase. It's as standard. We will increase at this point and this point and this point until you move out and go, $1, come on over, But that structure of constantly going up is something that people need to think about before they go driving off to,
right. And I've had several people actually pull their stuff. They put one of these in their garage and was able to, if nothing else, downsize significantly to a smaller storage unit.
Mhm.
So that's a real thing too.
This is phenomenal. I'm sure you maybe heard it, and the simple fact that you've had sales is showing that obviously it's gonna work. I know people who could use this right now. And I had recently watched The Home Edit. I don't know if you've ever seen that on Netflix. But they'll probably use you if you reach out to them. So they're a team of people who go across the country and organize. They do closets, they do a lot of
Well, that'd be
pantries and things like that. I haven't seen them do too many garages. I'd seen them do it one time.
Yeah.
And they did have to mount it on the wall, like you said, and no one even thought about, when you mentioned the pull on the ceiling and you mentioned all these structural things, like you're not thinking about that as a homeowner. Like if you just want it organized and you're like, man, I'm not
Correct.
recognizing how it could affect my house. So
Go ahead.
Can you share a little bit more what the shipping constraint was?
Yeah, so the beams for the 2-car garage, I initially made 96 inches long, not I'm just a dude who doesn't know a thing, right? I just came up with an idea, just decided I'm gonna run with it, and these were the dimensions that I put together, thinking that it was gonna be versatile. Well, now that I start getting people interested in shipping, I start reaching out to different trucking companies, and I'm asking them, hey, how can I ship this? Oh, yeah, you can ship it, no problem. Well, then I come to find out, once I have the thing palletized, ready to go, and I go to put my billing in there, salespeople will tell you one thing, the dock people will tell you another thing. So now I'm getting ready to ship this thing out, and you go, oh, no, you can't put that on the truck. Well, why not? Oh, it's too long. I said, yeah, but I cut it down to 95 inches because that 96 8-foot measurement seems to be the magic number. Oh, well, no, you can't get that on the lift gate. What do you mean? It's too much liability, blah, blah, blah. So now that idea of me being able to ship these things through a pallet, which is a good idea, but they're heavy. I then started rethinking. IKEA came to mind. I'm like, well, shoot. IKEA's building things and they've got 6 boxes, 7 boxes for every piece of furniture you want to buy. Why not just make this into a 6 or 7 box item? And that way it can be lightweight. They can take it right to the door of the consumer, right? And I can put it on the thing. Well, I started calling around to cardboard companies, and there's one in Jacksonville called Jack's Box. We wrote that we got everything ready to go. He says it's $11,000 to buy the cardboard.
Why isn't that called Jackson?
So close.
They were so close.
So I need 10 grand to be able to make the minimum run for the packaging, right? But with that 10 grand comes other logistic issues of storage. Right now I got 300 boxes here for storage or for racks, but I don't have the storage. So it's a multiplying, compounding problem that takes money.
Right.
See what you can learn from IKEA.
Yes.
Yeah, the master of this in the global.
Yeah, it's a great market.
You know, you got a lot of information that I can share with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is great idea. I need it. Yeah, I need this.
I'm not coming to Dallas.
I can ship it.
You want to be a distributor?
Yeah. I need somebody to do it down there.
So I have a question. So let's say, I buy it from you, ship it to me. How easy for me to set up, assemble it and deassemble it?
With no BS, the girl who shot my video on my website, she did the whole thing by herself.
Okay.
So she's a little bit taller than you.
Yeah.
So the height might be a little
A
bit of an
little
issue. But everything is literally, you might be too young. Remember erector sets? You ever seen an erector
yeah.
set?
Oh, yeah, I did.
No,
Those are great.
I know what we've been
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. So
I may have missed it, but yeah.
yeah, so I mean, it's super simple. Everything's light. You take a leg and you raise it to the ceiling, put a pin in it. Take another leg, raise it to the ceiling, put a pin in it, lay those down, put the cross members on there. I don't have a picture of it, but yeah, I mean, it's super easy. And you would think those big beams that are sitting here, these, you just pick up one, put it in the cradle over here, pick up the cradle and adjust it. It's super simple.
Anyone can do it pretty much.
Anybody
Like
can
you
do
don't
it.
need like an installer.
No,
Okay.
no, but the reality of it is though, most people,
The target market might need a grandson. or something.
right. No, the target market's willing to pay for somebody to come out. and
Yeah,
solve
partner
it.
up with Rent a Grandson. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's the National Association of Professional Organizers, NAPO. Potential way, right word.
That's a great idea.
I go to the International Home Builder Show. My guess is that there are smaller closet organizing companies that could add your product onto their product line for the garage.
I was at that building show last year and I
Yeah.
went to these closet manufacturers and a lot of them have not, well, the problem is I wasn't able to get to those decision makers that needed to be there because most of them are just worker bees sitting on the floor.
Right.
So I've got the contacts for those folks. I just got to make sure I've got enough product on hand and being able to ship it, because if I can't ship it, I can't do anything.
Right.
Yes, am I done?
And then I've got a bunch of contacts, like I've got a friend that started 4 franchises, all owned by veterans.
I would love to chat.
You need to talk to Jack.
Would love to chat. Yes.
Rod online has a question. Do you have an option of being able to raise and lower the shelf? There are a lot of other options on the cardboard. There are custom cardboard makers that'll do it for much less. But he wants to know, do you have an option of being able to raise and lower the shelf?
Is he asking electronically? Because I don't have anything electronically.
Maybe electronically, or can you just make it?
No.
I don't know.
The electronic portion would come, but it's gonna come with more money. And I'm not there yet, but you can adjust it. I mean, it's totally adjustable to, to where you walk.
But once you
underneath it.
adjust it, it's set.
Yeah, it's set.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's set by pins though, right? So you can
take everything.
you can take everything off and lower it or raise it.
Yeah. So let me give you a quick example. The other day, last week, I went out to a guy's house and his garage was an absolute mess, the worst I've ever seen. And we got so busy cleaning out the mess, I put the rack up. And yesterday I went back out there because we wanted to shoot video. And I pulled his wife's van into the garage. And I left because I didn't look because I was so overwhelmed with just this amount of stuff in the garage. I left this pole right next to the mirror. I was like, oh, I go, Josh, we got to tear this down. He's like, what? He goes, we got to take the stuff off. I got to move the rack. So we literally just took the stuff off the rack. I loosened up these feet and we just slid the rack 1 foot forward, tightened the feet back up and put the stuff on there. It took me less than 35 minutes to literally unpull the stuff down and then move the rack. So.
Got a really important question.
Yes.
Are you calling these pogs by chance?
Pogs?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
why not?
Go ahead.
Your
just asking.
POGS. Pogs, that's what it's called.
Portable overhead.
Oh.
Pods.
Give him money, give him money.
Dan, you got a question?
5%.
And keep in mind, we have no attics, no basements, so you can't drive a block without seeing a giant facility for storing stuff. Every one of these could be selling these racks. There are people that rent the units in it because they're perfect for them.
Went
Doesn't
down
matter
that
what
road.
size you have, you can fit any size you want.
So here's the obstacle. Storage facilities are in the business of renting storage units. So if I'm gonna make their storage units more efficient and they don't make any money off of more storage
Now,
units.
Keep in mind that most of them are sold out.
Yes.
It's
Agreed.
tough finding out the most. They're happy to have anything else that'll get people in
So
there.
I talked to a lady who actually built storage units last week. This is a great revenue stream for them. If they can see and have the mindset that say, hey, we can put these things in rent $30 a month to double their storage in their garage. And if the people don't want to buy it, they just pick it up and move it to the next place. The challenge is, like where I was, the woman who's the manager is about this tall. And she's not in a position where she can pick these things up and relocate them to another unit once that comes available. So there's got to be some type of labor implemented. So when she says, hey, take the unit out of 1026, I need you to put it over at 712.
They all have people
Right.
that work there that do that.
Yep,
There's
final
times
question.
Time's up.
Good.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
So,
Final question? Final question?
So the final question, which you
Chris online.
pretty much,
Chris Hill-Lines got a question.
Oh,
Oh, it's okay, guys. I actually think with the video shoot thing you mentioned earlier, I think you answered it just fine. So we can go ahead and go through it. Go ahead then.
okay, so you pretty much answered it, but let us ask again. So what can we as a community do to help you?
I think the biggest thing you can do is just go back in the recesses of your minds of people that you know that organizing companies, boxing people, the list of individuals I put up there that you can just go in front of and say, hey, I think you need to see this,
Right,
you
right.
know, and just help me spread the word, because without putting the money out there for marketing, word of mouth is obviously the best thing. And if you
Sure.
think it's valuable and you like it, you know, just share it.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you about affiliate marketing, which is a way to get other people to market.
yeah.
Perfect.
So your next step after this, though, is to download the chat, or if somebody else has downloaded it, send it to them. But go to, once the video's up on YouTube, review the video multiple times, because every time you review it, you'll find something you missed. And, you know, get in touch with the people that have made some suggestions and so forth. And, you know, and then implement some of the things that were suggested that you believe fit within your mission and your culture and everything else, and will help make your business better. Okay. All right. So we have one more. Did you have?
I was just gonna say, for the washer and dryer, it's a rack below, and it only comes from Australia.
Right down under.
Okay, so we're gonna bring up.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Neha Shah. I am here from Dallas. First, I heard about 1 Million Cups at Frisco, which is a suburb of Dallas, and that's where I presented, and that's how I learned about it, and that's why I'm here. I was visiting Orlando, and I wanted to come and present and meet everyone in Orlando as well. So happy to be here. So I am the founder and owner of DoTells. We are in lost and found space. Let me see. It's not
The
going.
mouse first. The mouse button.
Where's the mouse?
Mouse is on this side over here
Oh, there it is.
and the left.
I got it.
Left mouse.
Or as a PDF, you may have to go down. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so as I said, we are in lost and found space, the problem that we are trying to solve. So our most common problem as human beings is losing things, lost and found. But in today's day and time, there isn't an effective and easy way to tackle this problem. So for example, if you lose your wallet at a public place today or leave your laptop behind at an airport, or if you have young kids and if they leave their stuffed animal toy while traveling, there isn't an easy way for the finder of those items to contact you directly and securely. In other words, there isn't an easy way that exists currently which connects the finders and owners of lost items securely. So that is the problem that we are trying to tackle. Before I bring up how we are trying to solve it, I did wanted to bring up this number slide. So about $2.7 billion are spent today on replacing lost and misplaced items each year just within the US. Further drilling down into this number on where and what kind of items are lost, about 70 million cell phones are lost each year within the US. 1.2 million items are left behind. I can't believe this number, but they are left behind at the airport security point each year. About 19,000 items are lost in New York or turned into in New York subway's lost and found department. I have included this another interesting statistics here, which is the honesty research, because the solution that we have, which I'll be discussing in just a second, depends on the finder's discretion, finder's honesty to reach back to the owner and have that willingness to return the item. So there was an honesty research that was done a few years back, which included about 40 countries. Basically, they dropped about 17,000 wallets all around the world. And they found that about 72% wallets were returned back or reported back, which nearly had $100 in them. So honesty does exist at a pretty high rate here.
That's.
All right, so the solution that we are offering. So DoTells is a platform that connects two people who don't know each other anonymously, securely, and instantly, so that people can retrieve their lost items back, save some money, hassle, as well as some headaches. And last but not least, the positive byproduct of the solution is spreading kindness within our community by helping people in our community. Okay, on how we are doing this, how we are connecting the finder and owner, I just wanted to mention before that my product is a mobile app as well as a web app. So it's a digital product. So with that in mind, this is how we are trying to solve the problem. So we have DoTells tag, and this is the current design of the tag that we have. Users can download just the QR code and then design it however they want, but by default, this is the tag design that we have. So when a finder finds an item with DoTells tag on it, they can scan it and get in touch with the owner directly and anonymously. And such communication is made via a one-way message or two-way chat. One-way message is being just giving a heads up, hey, I found your keys, at this mall or at this restaurant, and then you can, just kind of type in that I'm giving it the front, and they can get it back. Two-way message is more like there isn't a front desk or there isn't a lost and found department, and then the finder and the owner has to go back and forth. That's when the two-way chat comes into play. This slide is supposed to kind of work as my soft demo. So once again, a finder finds a wallet with the DoTells tag on it. They scan the DoTells tag, and this is the screen that they see on their this is the web page that gets pulled up right after they scan the DoTells tag. In this little yellow box, they can type in a message and send it to the owner. On the owner side, there are three different ways they can receive notification: a text message, email, or an in-app alert. And in this whole transaction, the identities of both finders and owners stays anonymous. So there are at no point we reveal anybody's identity. All right, so just kind of like what we have been doing so far. So we have fully launched back in January, so we are pretty early on. We are pretty early startup. What we have tried so far is when we first initially launched, we targeted B2C, so we target individuals. We try to target the two sets of or two groups of people because that's where we think that the problem exists more. So parents with young kids, which I myself is included, parents with young kids tend to just carry a lot of items. Doesn't matter if you're going on a vacation or just going on a day trip, just carry a lot of items, and that puts you at a high risk of losing things. Same, pretty similar. People who travel a lot, going from one place to another, puts them at a high risk of losing things. And then the other market strategy that we are trying to do right now is the B2B strategy. And this is what we want to focus on. So basically, we want to partner with consumer goods manufacturers or retailers or credit cards or theme parks. I'm in Orlando here, lots of theme parks, Disney, Legoland, all these theme parks. People lose stuff all the time. And different kind of phone accessories, laptop stickers, pop sockets, things like that. What we want to do by partnering with this manufacturers or retailers or theme parks is pretty much to have, like, if you're looking at this model example, have our DoTells tag already printed on their item. So when the end consumer buy those products, it comes with it. So users don't have to go and stick on multiple items. It's already there. The end consumer buys it, scans it, and then they can pretty much activate it. So that's what we are trying to achieve, and that's where we want to focus on right now. Moving on almost towards the end of my presentation, our goals, vision, dreams. Short-term goal is to partner up with a manufacturer or retailer. However, I think theme parks is where we feel that the problem does exist. And that's where we kind of want to focus as well, because millions and a lot of things are lost, like at theme parks, at public place, and then there are kids. So that's where we want to kind of, focus on and basically grow our user base. So our short-term goal is to grow our user base, either by selling to individuals or by partnering with, a company or retailer. A long-term goal is to have our DoTells tag already printed on these items, or have theme parks already handing those out when they buy the tickets. So basically, that's kind of a long-term goal, dream that we are seeing. Have DoTells tag as a symbol of value-added feature, basically. So when the end consumer buys it, they think of it as a superior product, a better product that comes with a value-added feature. Pretty much like imagine as an organic logo when we go to the supermarket, we see food item which has organic logo. We tend to think there's our superior, better quality of food. Similarly, we want to have that kind of image for DoTells tag. And almost done. The help we can use right now. So basically, we are looking for B2B leads, right? So any contacts, if you yourself are working in a company like that, or if you're working in a theme park, or if you are part of that management team, any kind of contacts we can use currently, which can lead us to have that partnership, that would really, really help. And then last but not least, you can go to our website, DoTells.com, and sign up. It's completely free. That's what we're trying to do. We want to make it super cheap or free. So yeah, you can go to DoTells.com and sign up for free and have your DoTells tag shipped to you for free as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I'm sorry, one more question. I do actually have DoTells tags with me here today. So I can actually hand it out, and all you have to do is scan it, and you guys can activate it, and that's it. That's all you need. Wow. All right, go ahead. You had raised your hand first.
I have to admit, when I saw your target market of being parents with young kids, I thought, can we put a QR code on the kid?
Yeah,
That's the first thought.
So I was
Why do we
I
think of
didn't want to include that examples in my presentation. So we went to Legoland in California, and that was at a prototype at that point, but I had the the
Okay.
wristband, and I had the QR code on it. We were waiting in a line for a ride, and a few parents noticed it, and they signed up, like right in the line, like while they were in the line.
So I have a friend of mine who has a company locally, it's a tech company, and she's developed a wristband type of a thing, electronic wristband for kids.
Okay,
And I think this, and sometimes, some of the issues that she's had is, power goes out on the thing,
exactly.
or there's no reception or anything like that. And maybe if you had a sticker on it,
No
or
electronic, yeah.
default of it would automatically, just when the power goes out, just the face, the sticker would pop up
Pop
on the
up,
thing.
yeah.
So I think that would be a great
Okay,
idea
yes,
too.
I would love to have that contact.
But one more thing though, is when you're dealing with theme parks, how protected is this? What's your intellectual property?
Right, so you're talking about security features, is that what you're talking
No,
about?
I'm talking about them not stealing your idea and running with it and leaving you in the lurch.
Yes, so that's the kind of the risk, unfortunately, that we have to take. We try to do patents, right? Unfortunately, this is a software and it's very steep to have this kind of patent. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, you can copyright it at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, copyright.
That's
the
$35.
idea, yeah, I mean, we can try to do that. We had lawyer involved and everything, but it was kind of hard. But yeah, we can copyright it and see nobody can.
Yeah, it's $35. It takes about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we can look into it. You think you
I
can
strongly
copyright the
suggest.
software though?
Yes,
Isn't it like a
you
patent?
send them the first couple pages of the code and the last couple pages of the code. You
Okay,
don't have to send them the whole code.
okay, and you can
Right.
just kind of copyright it and that stops people from.
Well, it's not gonna stop them,
Not
but,
stop, but
but if they do
protect.
take it, then you can sit there and say, hey, wait a minute, this is ours. and-
Copyright it.
Right.
It's stronger than a patent.
Got a question about pricing from Rod.
Yes. Yes, so right now, so what we are doing, so multiple models. The one we have is the first one is the free model. So anybody can go and sign up on DoTells.com. You get exactly this kind of tags completely for free. So this is one single QR code. So once you sign up, you have an account with DoTells, and then you get this one QR code in your account. If you can copy it, this is what it is, and put it on multiple items. But if you want to track it, so let's say, I want one QR code for my water bottle, one for my keys, one for my wallet. If you want to track it that way, if you want to create multiple QR codes, we have a subscription, which is $20 per year, which is still pretty cheap, but that's what we have. This is for the end consumer. For the B2B model, we are yet to kind of see how it works out when we partner. If we are able to find the lead, it will all depend. Yeah, go ahead, John.
I'm sitting here thinking about airports, right? So the only way I'm gonna find out about DoTells is if I actually see a QR code somewhere or I find an item.
Yes.
But if you were at the airport, if you were at a bus station and you said, have you found something? Have you lost something? And you had a quick app where I could log into that app, and you say, oh, I'm in Orlando, found a wallet at the Lakes bus station, color blah, 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 and put in descriptors. Then if I lose something, because now you've got your logo at the bus station, you've got your logo at the airports, you've got DoTells logos everywhere. You need to find something, lost something, and DoTells starts to become a brand. Maybe you, with the subscription model, maybe you start giving back to the airport a certain amount of money. But that's where you're gonna grow your awareness. That's where you're gonna find, people like, oh, what's DoTells?
Yeah, I actually have a friend of mine who has a contract with the New York subway system and the Orlando International Airport. So that's 100 million impressions a month between the two of them.
Right.
You said
Chris
something.
has a question.
Chris has a question.
I believe.
Chris?
Sorry, guys. Yes, I do. First off, I think this is brilliant. I really love the idea. I just signed up. Okay.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I really think you're onto something. I love QR code technology. And the fact that you can use your camera these days with iPhones and immediately get somewhere with a QR code is a real enabling technology, as you know. I guess I have two questions for you, and I don't want to dominate or anything, but honestly, I really love this idea. The first is, who is your competition? I don't know that you mentioned it too much. I was looking for one particular vendor that I didn't see. And then two, I'd like to at least toss an idea out to you. I mean, we're all idea people here, but if you'll answer that first question for me, I have a thought on marketing efforts as well.
Yes. So far, I mean, I would say our competition would be, Tile or AirTags, the Apple tags that they came out with. But I mean, I wouldn't say it's a direct competition. I feel like we can complement each other as well. Basically, our different point would be that we don't have any electronic hardware. There are no batteries, and it's just a sticker. So I mean, so far, I would say Tile, because they are the one who are also in this lost and found industry.
Okay, thank you. I was hoping.
Okay, great. So we're
Yeah.
out of time.
Uh,
Well, you can ask her afterwards.
I'll
But
be here.
so thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
And,